Let's work with some complex fractions now. If you have a look at question 1, it's asking us to simplify the following complex fraction. And what is a complex fraction? It's a fraction that looks something like this. So this is an example of one. So you can see it's complex because we've got a fraction on a fraction. So the numerator and denominator also consists of fractions, which we don't really like to have. So what we're going to do is simplify it down and make it look like an ordinary fraction with no fractions on fractions. Okay, so the key thing to this, guys, is see what the fractions on the numerator and the denominator are. In this case, we have a third and we have a half, don't we? So look at the denominators. The denominators for the top one is 3 and the denominator for the bottom one is 2. So tell me, guys, what is the lowest common multiple of 3 and 2? As soon as I say that, I'm pretty sure it's 6. So what I'm going to do is multiply every single thing by 6. This is how we eliminate the different fractions. So I'll show you how it works. So I'm multiplying everything by 6. So I'm multiplying the 2 by 6, the 1 over 3 by 6, and all the denominators by 6. So the 4 by 6, the negative half by 6. I'm multiplying everything by 6. And then, because when you do something to one thing, you make sure you do the thing to everything else. So you can see that 2 times 6 is just 12. It's easy. Now what's 1/3 times a 6, guys? A third times 6, see 6 divided by 3 is 2. So 2 times whatever's left on the numerator, which is 1, will just be 2. So see how on the numerator I've got 2 times 6, which is 12, and a third times 6, which is 2. And then on the denominator, similarly, 4 times 6 is 24. And look, half times 6 is 3, isn't it? Because you know that 6 divided by 2 is 3. So this is what we have left in our fraction. So now we just have to simplify. So 12 plus 2, that's simple. 24, and the denominator will just become 21. 24 minus 3 is 21. And the good thing is we don't have any more fractions on fractions. But we can simplify a little further, guys. 14 and 21, what's the common factor? What's the highest common factor? I think it's 7. So divide top and bottom by 7, you should get 2 over 3. So see how now it looks like an ordinary fraction without having all these crazy fractions on numerator and denominator. So the key thing is to look for the lowest common multiple of whatever fractions you have, and then you multiply out everything by that lowest common multiple. So we'll try another one. Question 2, it's asking us to simplify this complex fraction again, and let's have a look at what it is. This is what it looks like. So again, we've got different fractions within this one fraction. So you can see this one's 3 over 4, and this one's 5 over 6. So look at the denominators. The denominators are 4 and 6. So what's the lowest common multiple of 4 and 6, guys? Please let me know. The lowest common multiple of 4 and 6 is simply 12. So see how I'm multiplying everything by 12? So try to think of what the lowest common multiple is. If you have to, list it out, and then you multiply it all out. So I've multiplied everything out. See, the 3 over 4 times 12. How do we do that? Let's simplify it. So 12 divided by 4. Okay, see the 4 is on the denominator, guys, so we're pretty much dividing. So 12 divided by 4 is 3, and then you multiply that by whatever's on the numerator, which is 3 again. So 3 times 3, see how we have 9 now? And see this over here, 5 over 6 times 12. 12 divided by 6 is 2 times 5, which gives us 10. That's how we have these values here. And the ones in the front, they're pretty easy to get. 1 times 12 is just 12. 2 times 12 is 24. I'm hoping you guys can just do those by yourself. And let's simplify it. Just do your addition and subtraction. 12 plus 9 on the numerator and 24 minus 10 on the denominator. And again, we can simplify a little bit further because I can see that the highest common factor of the numerator and denominator is 7 again. So divide top and bottom by 7, you should get 3 over 2. So that's how we simplify this complex fraction. So it looks like an ordinary fraction now. We'll try another one. Okay, again, simplify the following complex fraction, and this is what we have this time. Now, the different thing about this compared to the previous 2 questions is that we now have the denominators involving x. So, looking a little bit more confusing, but guys, just do the same thing as what we did in question 1 and 2. The good news is the denominators are the same, so we don't even have to bother looking for the lowest common multiple. So the denominators for this one is x, and this is also x, so the lowest common multiple must be x itself, isn't it? So let's go ahead and multiply everything by x. And this is simple. This is nice, guys, because look, x and the x cancels here, and again, x and the x cancels here. And we're just left with 1. So that's what we have. See, 1 times x is x, and 2 times x is 2x. And then you can see how the x is eliminated on the second part. So that's why we have +1 and -1 along the side. So that's how we can simplify these algebraic ones. You can't really go any further. So that's how we simplify our complex fractions.